All right, so what I'm trying to do is right now, let me just show you what I'm trying to do right now. So, to improve your workflow, I'm trying to do something like organizing my project. We have a thing called Project Bounce in FL Studio, and essentially what it's doing is I've got just an example here. That's like a project called Wie krank ist das denn? It's in German, but so I just deleted that one because I wasn't like the whole project isn't organized and it doesn't make sense to keep something in here. As you can see, the remix that I just deleted. And as you can see, it's not really organized. It's all over the place, different names, the sample names and shit. And so in the context of the song, there are certain elements that stick out. So some elements that are named in here stick out more than they have been intended to be. So like you are visually like drawn into obviously into your project. That's like I think the biggest skill that you need to have. And I was just recently thinking about this, like how can I optimize my screen? Because like we can either like train ourselves to detach, to be completely visually detached from from the screen, to be only listening to what we actually hear, but it's virtually impossible because how are we supposed to do that? Like, I think there was a video out there that showcased like an effect where the by like what you see visually also changes the way you perceive something like from an audio standpoint. So keeping your project as clean as possible will help you massively with not only finishing tracks but with the future tracks, because that's what I feel like. And as you can see, I kind of like started to organize my project a little bit more and start to delete like samples that I don't actually need, because can always go back and like yeah, drag it out again. But like I had this remix finished for almost 2 years now, and I go back to projects and I see that they are like that they still have old like they have unused samples in there, like muted samples, and it doesn't make sense. Like imagine Dr. Dre having his produced track and like having muted samples and shit like that. It just no, it doesn't make any sense really. Like it, yeah. So I'm just gonna delete those. I think I've deleted everything. So let me just go in here and like just oh, oh 1 second. I have to delete those again. And yeah, boom, 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 boom. So delete those, boom, those, and delete this one, these two, then also this one, then also this one. Yeah, and it's trying to keep my project clean. So, and yeah, this is an exception. Like if you have these global sidechain automations or whatever, I think it's fine if you do that. But like here you can see, okay, I haven't really automated anything. So it doesn't really make any sense pretty much, but it doesn't matter. You have to do it anyways. But if you would have like stereo separation, if you would automate the master and shit, you would obviously go in here and like, so if you automate this thing, this knob stereo separation, as you can see at the top left corner right now, it's like merged. So it makes this more mono or more stereo. So if you would have like a build up, right? So just before here, right? You could essentially just like go before the drop hits, you could go mono and then like make it stereo again so it seems bigger, but it's not like you should do it very subtly because in a subtle way. So it doesn't stand out too much because it's a pretty unnatural thing to do. It doesn't like occur in nature. So like the listener's not pretty used to it, and we want to keep it as analog as possible. So that's my approach pretty much. How does that work now? So we could take, I mean, that's fine for now. So if we have these three ones, I don't want them to overlap. So I'm gonna call that one base, and we want it red. I always make my base red. Fire brick. Okay, I guess not red. Fire brick. Base, and then I'm gonna group them. And I'm also gonna delete this one. I'm gonna group them to the top. And I'm gonna call this one sub base. So maybe make this one darker, right? And I guess it makes the most sense. And we also gonna do a cool thing where we color grade that stuff. So I think these two belong to there as well, right? I think actually they belong to, what do they belong to right now? I don't know. Vox ambience. What the fuck? Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you don't have a project on this, it's gonna be difficult. That's what we're here for. So one thing, how I'm always gonna do it is like change color, then go to white and black, except you have the gradient. Then you go into each individual one and you click A. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. You click C and you just hit enter. You don't type in anything, but you just hit enter. But you make sure these tracks here are named. So it gives it an automatic color and it's kind of a shortcut. So you automatically grade these clips. Unfortunately, there's not a shortcut, but maybe 1 second, let me actually try it out. Maybe there's a shortcut. So you just go in here, you select these ones, you say change color, and you set it to the first color is going to be here, this one. And let's make the last one like a bright one, or like yellowish, maybe like this. Yeah, like this maybe, like this. And then we can just hit right click and see, and then boom. Okay, that didn't work out. So yeah, we have to go into each individual track and yeah, if we do it like that, it's just fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but like it just needs to be like we can separate it a little bit more, and it's way better. And if we, and as you can already tell, there's something missing here. So that would belong to this one. Okay, so we need to ungroup this. Can we ungroup this? Why can't I ungroup this? Yeah, okay. I don't know. But you get my point, right? Like try to organize this stuff and uh also like in a mixer, like try to make it the same, try to make it as coherent as possible. Like I would make a group then with the same color as well and like the same name. Bass, sub bass, keep it as simple as possible. Then if you go back here, like right now, I go to channels, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like look at this, like serum, all the different is like not really good. And like effects, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I think if you have something where you like, okay, hey, I'm gonna go in here and I know, okay, maybe I had like here. Okay, 1 second. The fuck. Dude, let's say I have this lead sound right here, okay? Which I really like, by the way. Like this plucky synth. Let's say I like that. And like I go in here, I would go in here, like this is not the project, but like just to showcase. Like we'll go in here and I have like serum 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't know which serum of this ones it's gonna be a plug. Like I don't know which one I'm gonna use for it. If I have like maybe let's say it named as I don't know, sine wave plug, I would have like sine wave plug 1, 2, 3, and I know these are the layers, right? Because I know like I work with layers most of the time. Then you would know like you could just you could select them and click shift and then drag them into your channel rack. Boom, you have it, and then that's the first click. And then yet, and secondly, you would have, but actually would make more sense if they would be like attached to it. Like, would be a better workflow actually if you could just drop them. Don't know if that actually works because, like, dude, then I would also have to go in here and like change everything as well. But yeah, I think if you do it that way, you just had to do like 2 clicks, right? Like, go in there, drag the layers if you have multiple ones and name them accordingly. And if you have a layer also, then you would have to name it as well and create a system, right? Like creating a system where you would, if you would have this, like this is, we don't want to do that. We want to use always layers. So a layer, you can basically route multiple instruments to one main MIDI signal. So you could select all of these ones. You could set children, and then once you've set the children, you can basically delete these this MIDI right here, and you can just type in the MIDI right here. Then you don't need to adjust one, copy paste all the changes that you just made, and that's pretty much it. Like it's like really saves you a lot of time. And if you would export it into a project bone, you would pretty much just go in here and like yeah, if you have project bones, I would name it something like sine wave layer, right? And then if we would go into in the channels, you would have it like layer and then the extra instruments, so you know what it is. Because then you would also know, like I would just name it accordingly, so you just know what the fuck is happening. And yeah, just try, like the goal is to be as efficient as possible, right? Like that's pretty much it.